Final Fantasy is known for reinvention. Each game promises a new world, new rules, new faces, and we've learned to treat each entry as its own self-contained reality. Chocobos reappear. Moogles return. But we're told it's tradition, not continuity. But what if that's not entirely true? What if two of the most beloved entries, Final Fantasy V and Final Fantasy VIII, aren't just thematically linked, but historically connected? This is the theory, that Final Fantasy VIII is the distant future of Final Fantasy V, and the evidence for that claim isn't just in the lore. It's buried in the systems, the ruins, the scars left behind. To understand this connection, we have to return to the world of Final Fantasy V, a world held together by 4 elemental crystals: wind, water, fire, and earth. These weren't ornaments. They were planetary infrastructure, responsible for maintaining balance, generating magic, and sustaining life. Temples were built around them. Cities rose in their shadow. Civilization was shaped by their glow. But that balance was fragile. Exdeath, a warlock born from the void, sought to destroy the crystals, and succeeded. Each shattered crystal had consequences. The water crystals collapsed round Wall's tower beneath the sea. Others triggered quakes, floods, and planetary collapse. Land masses fractured, continents reformed. Whole regions vanished into the ocean. And in the end, a deeper wound opened. The interdimensional rift. A tear in reality itself that swallowed places, people, and knowledge. By the time peace returns, the world of Final Fantasy V is a scarred, half-drowned shell of its former self. Magic is fading, nature is wounded, and the survivors must build again, on unstable ground. By the time we reach Final Fantasy VIII, the world has changed beyond recognition. Nature has been pushed to the margins. In its place, military academies, underground labs, corporate cities. Power now flows through institutions, not elements. But look closer, and the past bleeds through. Let's start with magic. In Final Fantasy V, magic was natural, drawn from the crystals, accessible to anyone in harmony with them. In Final Fantasy VIII, that flow is gone. Magic must now be drawn, extracted from monsters or natural draw points, and stored using guardian forces. It's no longer a gift, it's a system, a controlled resource. This isn't evolution, it's recovery. Paramagic isn't a breakthrough, it's a workaround. A desperate reconstruction of something the world once had and lost. Then there's the geography. The oceans of Final Fantasy VIII hide ruins, massive, ancient, and unexplained. The Deep Sea Research Centre is the clearest example. A high-tech lab built over something far older, pulsing beneath the surface. Why build there? Why seal it away? What if this facility wasn't built randomly, but intentionally, because of what still lingers below? It mirrors the Tower of Walls, swallowed by the ocean after the water crystal shattered. A structure of power, rediscovered ages later by people who no longer remember its origin. If you're still with us on this journey through Final Fantasy's buried timeline, take a moment to subscribe. We don't do speculation for clicks. We follow evidence and we believe that meaning often hides in the overlooked. Now, back to what we found. The most powerful connections between Final Fantasy V and VIII aren't systems. They're not even places. They're entities. Beings that appear in both games, sometimes recontextualized, sometimes changed, but always present, and always important. In Final Fantasy V, Gilgamesh is Exdeath's second-in-command, boisterous, unpredictable, and strangely honorable. Defeated time and again, he is eventually cast into the interdimensional rift, a scar left behind by the collapse of the crystal system. There, he vanishes. Not into death, but into limbo. Gilgamesh doesn't die. He waits, trapped in the rift. Alone. Forgotten. Wandering through a fragmented space that exists outside of time, yet still anchored to the world that created it. Until Final Fantasy VIII. Near the end of the game, Odin, the silent warrior who joins your party, falls to Cypher. In that moment, something breaks, and through it steps Gilgamesh. Loud, confused, still chasing jewels, still collecting swords, still Gilgamesh. He doesn't reference another world. He doesn't ask how he got here. He just mutters, "Where's the dimensional interval?" He could never return. He was banished. And Final Fantasy VIII's time compression, that massive collapse of eras and borders, was the moment that finally pulled him back into the physical world. That's the key. This isn't a multiverse jump. It's the same timeline. Gilgamesh didn't cross into a different universe. He simply outlived the world as it used to be. The temples are gone. The sea has swallowed the towers, and the rift, long since sealed, has finally opened its hand. Gilgamesh isn't a cameo. He is the memory of a world long drowned, walking again. He remembers the crystals. He remembers Exdeath. He remembers what the world was and what it became. He is the witness, the constant, the proof that the world of Final Fantasy V it changed, and that somewhere in the chaos of compressed time, the rift blinked, and he stepped through. In FF5, one of the final dungeons is the Fork Tower, a magical structure split into two halves. In the physical wing, you battle Minotaur, a bull-headed warrior who guards the spell Holy. In the magical wing, you face Omniscient, a powerful sorcerer who protects Flare. Both trials must be completed at the same time. If one fails, both are lost. Once the trials are finished, the entire tower collapses into the sea. Elsewhere in FF5, deep inside the Pyramid of Mor, lies another bull-headed enemy, Sekhmet, who refers to Minotaur as his brother. Together, Sekhmet and Minotaur form an unspoken duo, guardians of sacred knowledge, separated by distance and purpose. Now look at Final Fantasy VIII. Inside the Tomb of the Unknown King, you meet Sacred and Minotaur, the brothers GF. Two bull-headed spirits reunited in a crumbling ruin. One is brash, the other sarcastic. Together they test your strength and join you when defeated. Are they the same as Sekhmet and Minotaur? Two brothers, once separated, now together. A forgotten trial, reassembled by time. The entity known as Siren is the perfect proof of the domestication of the sacred by science. In Final Fantasy V, Siren is a spectral boss, the thematic climax of the ship graveyard. She is the personification of ruin and mystery, a challenge that demands the party overcome fear and the magic of time. Defeating her grants the team the freedom of an ancient power, a rite of passage. She is a guardian linked to death and maritime catastrophe. Now, examine Final Fantasy VIII. Siren is no longer an entity, a boss fight. She is a guardian force, found atop a communication tower, the very symbol of technology over nature. She is not won by honor, but merely drawn from a random boss, Elvaret, in a purely mechanical transaction. Her power of time and silence remains the same, but her purpose has been made extinct. The spectral, mystical threat has been reduced to a programmable resource. Siren is the sacred past, sterilized by science. The name Omega returns, not as a reference, but as a recurrence, a scar that refuses to close. In Final Fantasy V, Omega is a mechanical monstrosity, an ancient war machine, interdimensional in nature, patrolling the silent corridors of the interdimensional rift. Its origin is unknown, its design inhuman, its power cataclysmic. It says nothing. It waits, and if engaged, it obliterates. Beating Omega is not part of the main path. It is the final challenge. A quiet gauntlet thrown at the feet of only the most prepared. Survive it, and you walk away with nothing but proof that you endured what was never meant to be defeated. But the nightmare returns. In Final Fantasy VIII, deep within Ultimecia's castle, Omega appears again, this time as Omega Weapon. It does not wait in a mechanical void. It waits in compressed time, a space where the boundaries between eras collapse and the strongest remnants of every age bleed together into a single moment. He is massive, alive, but not living. His arrival is not scripted. He must be summoned, called into existence by triggering a mechanism, as if the world itself hesitates to unleash him. And yet, there he stands. Not a robot, not a being of wires and gears, but the same threat, the same Omega, reborn or remembered. It raises a question. Did Ultimecia's time compression drag the original Omega across eras, from the rift into her domain? Or did time compression simply manifest the idea of Omega, an embodiment of finality, of overwhelming power, of a test that was never meant to be passed? Whichever the answer, one thing is clear. Omega is not a cameo. He is a memory given form, a universal constant of terror, always lurking at the edge of the world. In two worlds separated by ages, the legend of Bahamut persists, but its meaning distorts. In Final Fantasy V, he is a titan worthy of reverence. There is no temple, no prophecy, no containment protocol. Only the silent challenge of a mountaintop. Face him, and he meets you with dignity, a battle, nothing more. No trick, no trap, just power. And if you win, Bahamut becomes yours, willingly. He is an apex being, loyal by choice. But the future tells a different story. In Final Fantasy VIII, Bahamut does not wait beneath the sun. He is buried, sealed in a dark facility called the Deep Sea Research Center, far beneath the ocean's surface. You don't find him through legend. You unlock him. He is not a myth. He is a file. And defeating him doesn't end the story. It begins the descent. Because Bahamut in this new world isn't the final test. He is the first lock. The real secret lies below. An elevator shaft, a glowing pulse that leads to Ultima Weapon, a sealed nightmare beneath miles of reinforced metal. Alongside it waits Eden, the most powerful guardian force, named after paradise, birthed from chaos. Esthar's logs call it a resonance anomaly, some unreadable power buried too deep to extract, but too dangerous to leave alone. Is this anomaly what remains of the drowned water crystal of Wals's energy, transformed across eras into something raw and unstable? Was the Deep Sea Research Center not just a lab, but something else? One speaks from the past, the other from a future no one can place. But what if they aren't two villains? What if they're the same voice, spoken twice across time? Exdeath was never human. He was sorcery given body, spite stitched from sealed souls, a curse that learned to walk and sign a name. He didn't chase power, he chased deletion. The void was his vow, a silence deep enough to bury memory itself. Eras collapse, millennia drown. The world changes. The silence keeps calling. This time, it answers to Ultimecia, a sorceress out of chronology, folding time to a single instant, erasing beginnings, severing consequence, flattening the world. Sound familiar? Ultimecia doesn't summon the void. She becomes its echo. Time compression is the void. Exdeath and Ultimecia aren't just parallels. They are children of the void. Two iterations of the same failure. Magic wearing flesh. Is any of this canon? No. Square has never confirmed a connection between Final Fantasy V and VIII. But they didn't need to, because the games show us everything. The magic system didn't evolve by coincidence. The world didn't sink by mistake. And Gilgamesh didn't walk through that rift for fun. This isn't fan fiction. It's not even a theory. It's a possibility. Final Fantasy V shows us a world in collapse. Final Fantasy VIII shows us one that rebuilt itself, with what was left.